Look someone in the eyes, and you might be seeing everything. Their optimism, their insecurities, even how they handle success, failure, and love. According to Mac Fulfer, JD, in his fascinating book, Amazing Face Reading, our eyes don't just see the world, they reflect it. And today, we're unlocking what your eye spacing, angle, and depth silently reveal about your inner wiring. Stick around until the end. You'll discover not only how to read others, but how your own eyes reveal your personality too. Welcome to Mastering Behavior. We're about to explore 7 key personality indicators from the eyes, grouped into 3 categories: closely spaced versus widely spaced, how someone focuses attention, angles up, angles down, no angle, how they view life emotionally, recessed versus bulging, how they express or conceal emotion. You'll not only learn how to recognize these features in others, you'll also understand what they signal, how to connect with each type, and what to absolutely avoid if you want to build trust. Let's begin with what's between the eyes. Spacing. The distance between a person's eyes reflects how they naturally approach focus, whether they zero in on detail or scan the bigger picture. First, closely spaced eyes. When the eyes are closer together than one eye width, they're considered closely spaced. This trait reveals someone who is narrowly focused, highly disciplined, and thrives in structured environments. They prefer routine, order, and depth of information over breadth. These people usually don't like distractions. They want to finish what they start, and they expect others to stay on track too. Connect and influence. Be precise and organized. Keep your communication tight, logical, and step-by-step. They respect structure and will tune in when they see you respect their focus. Avoid jumping from topic to topic, vague language, or being overly casual. It makes them feel like you're wasting their time. Next, widely spaced eyes. If the eyes are set farther apart than one eye width, they're considered widely spaced. This signals someone with broad focus. They take in their environment quickly, and they're more flexible in the face of change. These are often your creative, out-of-the-box thinkers. They're natural explorers, open to new ideas, new people, and new environments. They may resist rules, not because they're rebellious, but because they need space to breathe. Connect and influence. Paint the big picture. Use themes, concepts, and what-ifs. These individuals respond to creativity and possibility. Avoid overloading them with nitty-gritty detail or being overly rigid. It can feel suffocating, and they'll mentally check out. The tilt of the eyes from the inner to outer corner says a lot about someone's emotional lens. Are they naturally hopeful, protective, balanced? Let's break it down. Angles up, eyes. When the outer corner of the eye sits higher than the inner, that's called angles up. This feature is common in people who are naturally positive, energetic, and forward-focused. They expect things to go well, and often they do because of this outlook. They tend to move toward challenges with confidence, and they rarely stay stuck in negativity. Connect and influence. Lead with potential. Share success stories. Be energetic and talk about what's possible. Avoid being cynical or overly focused on what's wrong. If you lead with doubt, you'll lose their energy and interest. Next, angles down eyes. When the outer corner of the eye is lower than the inner, it's known as angles down. This shape often belongs to people who are deeply empathetic, realistic, and attuned to human suffering. They don't expect everything to go right, so they prepare for what could go wrong. They often take on the emotional burdens of others, and they rarely quit in the face of difficulty. Connect and influence. Show sincerity. acknowledge problems but also offer solutions. They trust people who are honest and emotionally grounded. Avoid toxic positivity or pretending everything's fine when it's clearly not. They'll see right through it and tune you out. No angle eyes. When the inner and outer corners are level, the eyes are considered to have no angle. This eye shape reflects a balanced, objective, and fair worldview. These individuals tend to stay calm under pressure, and they're not easily swayed by emotional highs or lows. They make excellent mediators and often act as the voice of reason in chaotic situations. Connect and influence. Use logic. Present both sides of an argument. They appreciate fairness, reason, and stability in conversation. Avoid being overly dramatic or emotionally charged. They prefer cool-headed conversation and will pull back from excessive emotion. Now let's talk about depth. Whether the eyes are set deep into the sockets or appear more forward or protruding. This speaks to how someone expresses emotion and how quickly they open up. Recessed eyes. Eyes that sit deeper into the socket are called recessed eyes. This trait reflects someone who is often thoughtful, private, and emotionally cautious. They don't give away how they're feeling easily, and they don't trust easily either. You might feel like you're not getting the full picture from them right away, but that's because they process deeply before expressing. Connect and influence. Be respectful of boundaries. Ask thoughtful questions and listen more than you speak. Build trust slowly and steadily. Avoid pushing for emotional responses or trying to force vulnerability. They'll retreat further and may never open up again. Bulging eyes. Bulging eyes are more prominent or forward than average. These individuals tend to be emotionally expressive, reactive, and high energy. They feel things deeply, and they let you know it. They often live in the moment, speak spontaneously, and may struggle to conceal their true feelings. Connect and influence. Match their energy. Be open and expressive. They respond best when they feel emotionally mirrored. Avoid coming across as cold, dismissive, or overly analytical. They'll see you as disconnected and become defensive or withdrawn. Now, let's pull this all together with two quick scenarios. Case 1. A person has closely spaced eyes, angles down, and recessed depth. This person is focused, emotionally realistic, and very private. To influence them, be clear, be steady, be genuine. They'll respect maturity and preparedness, and shut down at emotional games or fluff. Case 2. Now imagine someone with widely spaced eyes, angles up, and bulging eyes. That person is open-minded, optimistic, and emotionally expressive. Show them possibilities. Be dynamic and honest. If you bring high energy and optimism, they'll light up. This is where eye reading becomes powerful, not just observation, but application. Here's what you've now unlocked. Closely spaced eyes signal laser focus and structure. Widely spaced eyes mean flexibility and big picture thinking. Angles up, optimism. Angles down, empathy and realism. No angle, emotional balance. Recessed. Eyes show emotional privacy. Bulging. Eyes show expressive intensity. These traits aren't flaws or fixed identities. They're patterns of perception. And once you learn how to spot them, you unlock deeper connection, faster trust, and more effective influence. So next time you meet someone, don't just look at their eyes. Read them. Because every set of eyes tells a story. And now you know how to listen. This week, your mission is all in the eyes. Not in what they see, but in what they silently say. You're not guessing. You're reading emotional coding at the very first glance. For the next 7 days, every time you meet someone, pause for 1 second longer than usual. Don't speak, just look. Ask yourself, what do the eyes reveal? Are they closely spaced, laser-focused and structured? Are they widely spaced, open to possibility and exploration? Do they angle up with natural optimism, or angle down with realism and depth? Are they bulging, emotions right on the surface, or recessed, quietly watching from within? Then, without saying anything, shift just one thing: the way you mirror their energy, the speed you speak, or how much space you give them emotionally. Real-world examples. In a conversation, slow down for recessed eyes. In a negotiation, highlight opportunity for eyes that angle up. On a date, match the feeling with bulging eyes and be gentle with eyes that angle down. This is your 7-day blueprint, not for judgment, but for understanding, connection, and influence without pressure. You just learned something that 99% of people overlook their entire lives. But this is just the beginning. By next week, we're moving from the eyes to the nose. Not just what it smells, but what it signals. Confidence, control, independence, boundaries. It's one of the most misunderstood features on the face. But once you know how to read it, you'll understand what drives someone and what holds them back. So subscribe for mastery, because the face isn't random, it's a map. And piece by piece, you're learning to read it with precision,